haven't said a word.
Look how pretty that is.
That's really pretty.
Sorry about the audio.
Yeah.
That was completely my fault. I take full responsibility.
You had sick brain.
We did 10 in a row
Yeah.
that were very successful.
That were successful. Well, they were fine.
What is success?
What is success?
You have to
Relative
find
term.
it. You have to find it from within.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's all a state of mind,
Yeah.
right? The richest people in the world are not the wealthiest as far as money.
Right. Or so people try to say. I think the money usually helps.
I always like that saying that it's like money doesn't solve everything, but it sure helps.
It sure helps. Yeah, yeah. The Ariana Grande song, it's something along the lines of like, whoever says money can't solve your problems must not have had enough money to solve them. I'm like, yes, it's great. Great line. And pretty darn true.
Yeah. But I also
Yeah.
think we lead lives that are turbo fulfilling.
Yeah, it's very true.
I remember like years ago, I forget what it came up with, something about describe yourself. And it was like, I feel like I'm fully self-actualized.
You said that?
Yeah. But the idea being like, I'm living the life that I want.
That's, yeah.
You know, and because of that, like, yeah, money's fucking nice,
Yeah.
but also we don't got any.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, but you're not wanting for anything. You're doing the things that give you fulfillment. You feel good when you wake up every day. Like there's a lot of things that
Yeah.
are able to make your life feel fulfilled and good and whole.
But this bottle was just given to me today. I didn't have to buy it.
Yeah. What you got there?
But my client today works with Middle West Spirits. This is their newest bottle. They just released the Napoleon Calvados cask finished whiskey.
Cool.
Calvados is a apple brandy, so it's barreled in
Oh.
apple brandy barrels.
That almost means something to me.
So it should have the notes of apple brandy.
Okay.
But it is cask strength, which means it's
Yeah.
123 proof. Woo!
Whoa,
Buckle
buddy.
up.
Well, what were those cask ales that we drink in England that, you pump
Well,
up
a cask
from?
ale is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the whole thing, that it's in the barrel still in the
Yeah.
actual
And
wooden
they
cask.
pump it up from that
So yeah, with the actual
tap.
they have to pump it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. They were like, and they're kind of served at like room temperature.
Yes.
If I remember.
Yep.
It was like a fine thing to taste, and I did not need a whole
It
one.
feels like a novelty thing.
Yeah.
But also, like
It just feels very medieval.
It
And
does
when you're
feel
in a
medieval.
1,000-year-old building, you might as well feel
well,
medieval.
it was our buddy Kirk while
Yeah.
we were in Cambridge.
Exactly.
And that's
1,000-year-old building.
he's
That's what I'm talking about.
He's like, you gotta drink the cask
Yeah.
strength, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
Next to the River Cam
it's probably
on the Cam Bridge. Hence
it's
the name.
Cambridge. Yes, we did.
I remember when he said that, I was like, wow, light bulb.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
But aren't most
Use
things
your brain. Yes.
named exactly like that?
Absolutely. Most last names.
Of course, Smith. Like, what did you do? Oh,
Yeah.
he's a blacksmith.
Or, sins or sons, usually
Yeah.
the son of Franklin. I think it means Freeman.
It does.
Yeah.
The Franklins. Yep.
I would imagine that the last name Freeman also means
Yeah,
Freeman.
yeah, but Franklin was like a version that was like, well, specifically, it is Wales. That's where Benjamin Franklin traces it back to. And really, we've looked it up multiple times in America.
Not a common last
There were
name.
not many Franklins at all.
Yeah, there still aren't.
And even when Benjamin Franklin went back to find relatives, like all of them were gone.
Yeah.
Except for like one 16-year-old girl
Yeah.
that was like a great niece or something. And he like brought her back to America. Was like, yo, you want to?
You're in the fam.
Yeah, you want to be part of this?
So all
experiment?
Franklins really just come from Ben Franklin and his very sparsed out lineage.
No, it's most Franklins would be people who just adopted the name because it was it was attached to one of the biggest celebrity at the time.
Yeah.
So
Can you just adopt a name like that? I guess so.
In 1770, you could.
Yeah. There's no
No one's gonna check.
No one's checking.
You move to a new town and you're like, yeah, my last name's Franklin. Like Ben Franklin, and people
Yeah.
are like, oh, cool. But also, that's why a ton of like freed slaves.
Yeah.
Why are they all Washington?
Oh yeah.
Why are they all Franklin?
Yeah.
That's because they got to pick their last names, and they went with what was famous.
I guess I never thought about that.
Yeah, you pick stuff that was like famous, and how many Jeffersons, how many the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
Well, why was a black family named Jefferson?
Interesting.
You pick these popular names,
Yeah.
especially because you want to be associated with.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Another thing where it's like, duh, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
But no, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, good. I like being a Franklin.
Well, because it has a strong connotation.
Strong name. Well,
We're
yeah.
in Franklin County.
We're in Franklin County. Yep.
Yeah. Our last
Lots
name's
of Franklins
Franklin.
around here. Yeah. Not running for politics.
No. And you know, I think early.
Because I always think Franklin for Franklin.
Franklin for
So,
Franklin
like, what
sounds good.
position would you do for, like, a county political spot? I don't freaking know.
I don't know.
No plans to do
I
it.
had always joked when I was in my late 20s, I was like, all right, you know, through my 30s, I'm going to build my career. And then in my 40s, I'm going to segue into politics or something.
Oh, my God.
And now I think, no.
No.
It also, like, especially when you watch, even at the local level, like, how often do you see, like, school board fucking bickering?
Yeah.
And there's, like, school board drama. You're like, oh, my God.
Drama.
Why would I want to be involved in that?
Yeah.
I would much rather own our own businesses
Yeah.
and then, like, support people in and around that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Hopefully this sounds better tonight. I'm optimistic.
I'm optimistic as well.
So I have not tasted this yet, though, at all.
Let's do it. Something to brighten supposedly the gloomiest day of the year. You know, it actually started out pretty sunny and then it got gloomy and I felt the gloom. And then I was scrolling through Instagram and somebody said, like, great job if you're making it through the gloomiest day of the year.
This is, the gloomiest
And
day of the year.
it's got to be something. I think they were saying it's something along the lines of the temperature and the cloud coverage and the wind speed. Like, all those things are sort of on the scale for what creates a gloomy day. And it's like,
It's very
it's ticking
great.
all of the boxes today.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're feeling gloomy, it's because it is the
Maximum
gloomiest
gloom.
day of the year. Which, honestly, it's kind of just felt cozy. I mean, there were a few times I was out today. The wind is awful. The wind is
wind.
very cold. But I don't know. Sometimes these dark, gloomy days, it just, you wanted to then, you know, get your computer work done
Right.
or get some cleaning done. It's like, just, you have to be inside, so at least be
Well,
productive
Elizabeth,
inside.
you are a rare person because most people would be like, I just want to be cozy.
Oh,
and I'm just
I
gonna
would just
watch
fall
TV.
asleep. But I got too much shit to do.
Yeah.
So how is it? Did it brighten
It's
the
very
gloom?
good. So, you know, when you're drinking bourbon or any, like, especially a high proof spirit, the first one's
Intense.
intense, you know?
Yeah. Maybe I'll taste a little bit. I have to get through the... All right.
Oh, much better. Yeah, well, it has a sweetness
Does it?
more than normal bourbon for sure.
Okay.
But really pretty mild overall.
Oh, God.
I was expecting, like,
I never drink bourbon anymore.
I know.
Okay. Got the first one down.
Yeah, I was expecting way more of not even peatiness like a rye, but just like a, I don't know, like a harsher taste. But it's very, very smooth. But
This is just straight,
yes,
right? Yeah.
But Middle West, everything they do, I'm a big fan. Even their, like, pumpernickel.
Yeah, that one was better
They have
for sure.
their pumpernickel rye is really popular, and it's like one of the only ryes that I actually like.
Recovering. God damn it. I just don't drink this shit anymore. It like hits me
You're like only Tito's and soda.
pretty much. Yeah. I, in the winter, definitely can get down with a nice glass of red wine.
Right.
And I think it's lovely. And even like a nice crisp white, like to kind of start off a meal. But wine will fuck you up.
Yeah, dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it's all like 13, 14, 15
yeah,
proof.
it's
percent.
yeah, kind of stick to what I know these days, which is pretty tried and true.
Yep.
Mainly Tito's, but fine with most vodkas in general, and then kind of heavy on the soda. I don't know. I'm a lightweight,
Yeah.
cheap date, lightweight.
I think
Let's go.
you get to a point where the peer pressure should be irrelevant.
Oh yeah.
You know, where it's like, I want to feel good.
I've been turning down shots for years now, and it is so
Now-
liberating.
Now, I don't have that willpower
You
yet.
do not.
But you do.
I do. And guess who feels great in the morning? Me.
Mainly Elizabeth, yes.
Anyway, well, how was your day?
You know what? It was pretty fun. My client today, a good friend as well. So
Yeah,
always
love
really
Kyle.
fun to connect and hang out. You know, another perk of the biz is that most of my clients are friends as well. You know,
Yeah.
or you become friends. You know these people for years and years and years. So it's
And then,
like,
it's either they're clients that become friends or friends that become clients, and either way is fantastic.
and a joke in the industry is just yapping.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so like, what did I do today? I don't know. Just for a few hours, I hung
Now,
out
would
with a
you
buddy
say,
and yapped.
in your experience, you know, knowing other tattooers, working around other tattooers, Is there a percentage, or could you somehow quantify how many tattoo artists prefer and or clients prefer to talk during the appointment versus just zone in and focus, put headphones in?
I would say
In the industry as a whole, we know yours is very
so-
heavily talky.
we're talking just clients.
Or just in terms of the appointment being a talking session versus kind of focusing
Almost
on the
always.
tattoo.
I would say like
And with most clients, most tattoo artists.
yeah, they want to talk. Well, because they also like, if they don't know you, that obviously a first encounter, the person might be a little more timid. Yesterday, I had a first time client, and
Was it a first time tattoo?
no, he has other tattoos.
Okay, but first time client.
But and if it's a first time tattoo, that's people
Yeah.
like any situation, it's foreign, so
course.
you're gonna be a little more guarded.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like after like 30 minutes,
Yeah.
my boy was yapping, and
Cool.
I was learning everything about his life. But you have to sort of like pull that out, or else just like make them feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
Which you should anyway. You're
Yeah.
going to be causing this person pain.
Yeah.
You're going to be touching this person.
Yeah.
So a stranger's going to touch
very
me
intimate.
for the next
experience.
5 hours or whatever. That's
Yeah.
fucking weird. So
Yeah.
I always take it upon myself to break the ice. But I think most tattoo artists do.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Even just like you do it habitually without even realizing it.
Yeah.
You're on autopilot like, oh, hey, I'm going to ask you these questions,
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, I feel like one of the easiest things is why are you getting this tattoo?
Yeah, of
What
course.
is the
Tell me about
tattoo? I think a lot of a lot of clients will give you some sort of backstory. They obviously have sent over their ideas. But at the end of the day, it's like, why have you chosen to permanently put this on your body?
What I will say is I am always curious. But to design the tattoo, what's
Mm-hmm.
always funny is people, especially when the first email is a novel,
Yes. Oh my God. A lot of people apologize for the novel.
but then I'll get to the end of it, and what is it? It's like, I want an anchor with this name and a squid. And I'm like, we
one of the
could
most traditional things you could tattoo.
You could have
yeah.
just told me that, and then while we're hanging out, you could tell me.
So that's just the
importance of
human
it.
nature of the situation. People want to share the story.
Story
They want to share the
It's
reason.
part of it, and a lot because tattoos. What do they do for people? Closure.
Yeah.
Or awakening.
exactly.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is, and so it's like I do appreciate the stories, but almost always you could have sent one sentence.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Like it could have been like 4 words.
Yeah.
And I could almost be like, yeah, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Like I know what you want.
It gives you a slight.
Insight to their personality.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. Well, that's funny.
It is very funny every time. How's your day?
Good day. Good gloomy day. Actually, a very productive day. It's a rare day that I don't go out to the barn these days. So it kind of turned into errand day, cleaning day, just try to be as productive, moving
Tried
about.
a new mop.
Oh, yeah. The new mop might have been more exciting than any new vacuum that I've gotten. Just peak adult at this point. But yeah, I had a new mop and it had it's like a little foot pedal that spins it. It's just like your
yeah.
classic like janitor style mop, but instead of having to like ring the thing, you just press this foot pedal and it
It's amazing.
it was amazing. Oh my God, game changer. There was an artist that came in. I was like almost done mopping, but she came in. So of course I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, it's kind of wet. And she's like, oh, that's okay. And I was like, but I got this new mop. And she was like, cool. And I was like, have you seen one of these before? She's like, I have. And I was like, but I like literally like dunked the mop in. I like had to show her. She was like, yeah, it spins.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it
yeah.
spins. And I was just like, well, anyway, this is the excitement of my day, my new mop. But oh my God, it's amazing. Yeah, simple freaking joys.
I know.
Simple little pleasures. So yeah, great day because of that. To be honest.
Well, I think like a lot of things, a lot of jobs are hard if you don't have the right tools.
Absolutely.
And then the minute you have the right tool for the job, you're like, oh shit.
Game changer.
Oh, 100%.
Yes. Yes.
Like I can't tell you how many times, especially when I was younger, where I'm trying to like saw something or attach something,
Yeah.
and like the ratchet doesn't quite fit, and the saw like cutting frames, like I don't have a miter saw, but I'm using this like hacksaw.
Yeah.
Always seems so hard. The second you have the right tool, it's like zip, fucking
Yep.
done.
Yep.
I could have done that.
Yeah.
Wasted hours of my day.
I mean, it's also, so, okay, yeah, invest in the tool. Or, on the other hand, invest in the professional to do the job.
Well, we've talked about that. Yeah.
So it's like, can you, I mean, just to use you as an example, say the dishwasher's messed up or something. It's like, yeah, you could spend hours on YouTube looking up the specific dishwasher and the parts and what needs to be fixed and why it's broken and blah, 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 blah. And yes, probably fix it yourself. Or you could probably book another tattoo, make a couple $100, pay the person to come fix the dishwasher. It's done well by a professional. And now, but then it's also sometimes fun to learn things.
Well, that's the caveat. The two things, because I tell people that shit all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, listen, is it worth your time? You
Yeah.
know, what is your value of your time? But we have a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
Most people can't just be like,
That's true.
all right, I'm going to book hours
To cover this cost.
To cover this
Yeah.
cost. You know, you have a job that pays you a set rate or
That
something.
makes sense, yeah.
But two is I'm always like, will it be fun?
But will it be fun?
Like, do I get to, you know,
learn a new skill.
Well, I was going to say play with fire. But
Yeah.
but am I going to do something that I think will be fun in the moment?
Yeah.
And it's like, if it's something with I'm staring at like our studio space. I'm like, if it's something fixing something with musical gear, I'm
kind
all,
of a hobby thing.
yeah,
more
like
so than
like
general
remember I
living.
got the soldering gun.
Yeah.
And so it was like, do I want to like resolder these inputs and do
Yeah.
shit like that? It's like, well, that's going to be fun.
kinda cool.
And now I have
Yeah.
that for any time it breaks
Right.
again.
And you know how to use it because you've now spent the
Done
time
it.
learning how to use it. So
And I've done it on a bunch of other stuff now too.
yeah.
What was that? Oh, I fixed Jay's foot pedal.
Yeah.
And that was like, I had bought the soldering iron for the guitar, and then one of our artists, her foot switch,
Yeah,
which
for
you
her
use to
machine.
send power to the machine, wasn't working. I took it apart. I knew exactly what it was, and I was like, oh, I've got the shit
I've
right
got the
here.
shit.
Zap, motherfucker. Yep.
Yep. So yeah, there is value in spending the time to learn it, but yeah, I think it just depends on the situation, like you said. But before I asked you how your day was, I figured we'd start on a good note because then I just had to lament a tiny bit.
Oh, go on.
I mean, it's something we've talked about a lot.
This seems dark.
It's not dark, but it's freaking annoying. The shopping cart people.
Just leaving them everywhere.
So, explain the shopping cart people for a second.
Well, it's why we can't have. It's why communism doesn't work.
Yeah.
The whole idea is like, if you're at a store and in the parking lot, it's like it takes no effort to take the shopping cart back, but no one will punish you
You
for
don't.
not doing it.
Right.
And that's a perfect example of society, why we all can't give our equal share.
Yeah.
Because a large percentage of people just won't take the shopping cart back
Yeah.
because they know they won't be punished. So how can you expect everybody to do their fair share
Right.
when you can see it every day that people won't?
Right. Toilet paper people are the same people.
Ah.
The people who don't like, I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, I feel like every time I
Now
go
you're saying just filling
refilling the toilet paper,
It's right there.
and oftentimes, I mean, I feel like so many public
Low
spaces
effort.
I've been there, it's like there is the extra one
Yeah.
sitting on a shelf, ready in case the one roll ends, and there's not an employee to come change it in the moment. And I mean, I understand that there are some of the toilet paper holders that require a key, or you know, it is cumbersome to change it. But your most generic toilet paper holder, even the ones that just slide off, let alone the ones you have to kind of like undo.
Yeah. People just won't.
The funniest thing to me is the people who will take the new toilet paper and just put it on top of the empty roll still.
Oh,
on
that's
the
always really
dispenser.
fun. Like it's the cardboard roll is sitting there, and they sat it on there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is fun.
And then the trash can is right there.
Just a sidebar, we used to have a cleaning lady at my studio who was very, very sweet, but she would do this thing like when the roll was low, so there was still toilet paper on it.
Yeah.
She would set the new roll
On top of that. It's like, put it on the back of the toilet.
Like, put it somewhere else.
Or neck on
we
the
gotta
sink,
finish.
or-
they gotta finish. Either way, someone's gonna have to move that.
But then the funniest thing is, then people just start using
Using
the
the
roll
new
on
one.
top.
I know,
And I'm like,
I
what
know.
is happening? It is like, what? I don't get it. I just
You're
don't
right,
get
though.
it.
You're right.
But yeah, I had to change the toilet paper the other day because it was sitting on top of the cardboard one. And I was like, these are the same people as the shopping cart people.
This is why communism won't work.
That's probably
Never
okay.
I think there's some sort of like social capitalist avenue, we all want to take care of each other.
Yeah.
And if you have means, you should be giving back, obviously. Yeah. And then, what about fire departments? What about roads? What about education? Those are social programs.
Well, what is the saying? It's like, I'm what is it? Like, I'm communist with my immediate family. I'm socialist with my neighborhood. And I don't remember exactly how it goes. It's something, I'll look it up. Yeah. But it is. It's like with your immediate circle, you are extremely giving. Right. And you will do anything for them. And you will give anything to them. And as you branch out, you get a little more individual and proprietary to yourself. Yeah. Because that's just the only way it can work.
It should be. Yep.
Yeah. I obviously butchered that saying, but
it's something very similar.
It's something along those lines.
The sentiment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I would share everything with you.
Well, you better.
What's mine is yours, comrade.
Alrighty.
I've been listening to just a ton of Kurt Vonnegut in a row. Bang,
yeah, you did.
So it's a lot of World War II and communists and Nazis and sci-fi and comedy and
literally just everything. He kind of just pulled out everything.
Mainly though, it's always circles around World War II.
Yeah.
And then the sort of what's left after that and how surreal the whole experience was, I think.
Surrealism is getting harder and harder for me to handle. It just it fucks with my brain too much. I mean, we talked about being tethered and untethered.
Yeah,
and
untethered.
The minute things start to lean in a surreal direction, I'm immediately untethered, and then I'm really kind of waked out. And I'm sure I don't know if that's just an age thing or I don't know what it is, but anymore when something's just a little bit off but feels right,
I tell you,
it really wakes me out.
I would be very hard pressed to do psychedelics now.
I will not. There is absolutely no way.
Now 20-year-old me, I'd be like,
yeah,
what you got, buddy?
Yeah, I never have. I really never have. Mom, I really never have.
I'm sorry, Ann. I definitely have.
But so
have you, Ann. I know you.
Yeah. But I know that. Yeah, even sometimes just drinking, I just get a little bit off, and then I'm falling off of a cliff off. Not in terms of physically oh God, blacked out or anything, but my mental state gets really, really weird and not good and not happy. And I don't know if there's just so much kind of swirling around in our world that I need to be a little bit more grounded just to focus on all these things.
For sure.
And, as things maybe ease up, that would also ease up. But it is a weird, weird feeling right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine not feeling in control.
Yeah.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about trying to get on the flight to London, and they didn't want to let me on. But I didn't know that was going to happen. We had been at the airport for a long time. I had been drinking because I was I want to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So I was I'm going to drink, get on the plane, fall asleep. And we get up there, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, your boarding pass isn't valid or doesn't work or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not capable.
You were just whatever. I'm about to cry.
Yeah.
Because I'm I remember you were
Liz
standing.
was freaking out a little bit.
For some reason, they separated us. There were two basically boarding lines.
You were good. They were like, go.
No, I wasn't at all. Mine was flashing red. And I looked over, and you had this dumbfounded look on your face. And I was like, get over here right now. I was you stand right here, right now. I'm give me your passport, and hand it to them. And they were able to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I remember getting on the plane, and I was already kind of an anxious wreck for whatever. Because it had been, our boarding pass thing had been fucked up for a couple days.
Well, we had just gotten global entry.
No, that wasn't it at all. We didn't have global entry then.
Wow.
I won't even go into the details, but I do remember getting on the plane, and I was so excited about getting settled on the plane. But in that moment, I was just put your fucking seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Close your goddamn eyes.
Yeah.
We're on the plane. Shut up. And then you were so what happened? And I was I don't fucking know what happened. It It was, oh my God. And then I just remember too, I was like, I had taken off all of my makeup.
Right.
Because it was an overnight flight.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, we bring up this trip all the time because we hadn't traveled in a while. This is our first big trip in a while. But yeah, so I had no makeup on, and I'm like, whatever, I'm fresh-faced. When my passport flashed red, my whole face turned red. So I'm getting on the plane, like, teary-eyed, freaking out, sweating, beat goddamn red, and just pulling you behind like a little leash kid.
I'm glad, because I would have been lost.
You literally sat down and you're like, what happened? And I was like, I don't know. We're on the plane.
I'd be still sitting in JFK or wherever we were.
Probably, yeah. But, yeah, that was a moment I really kind of wished that you were maybe
a little more tethered.
But we got through it, and I feel stronger for it.
There you go.
I now know that we can get through that.
I think we would have made it.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, but what else? Tell me more.
I don't know if
TikTok's going away.
TikTok's going away, but not.
Who knows? I know.
Who knows? But the thing is, I don't use it.
So
and when people send me TikToks, it drives me crazy.
Because you either can't watch it,
you have to, like,
or you have to
watch it, and it never, like,
download the app.
It also doesn't work if you just click the link.
No, it's like it'll just take you to the homepage. I kind of don't care.
No.
I'm like, get back on Instagram where we all belong.
A ton of the
because I know how to use it.
Well, I mean, that's really what it is, right? I'm familiar with this app and not this one.
Yeah.
But it's honestly like a ton of my clients, they are looking at it constantly.
Yeah.
And it is like rapid fire. It just goes to the next video.
Right. Instagram does too.
Well, and they're all copying TikTok.
Of course.
I mean, Meta specifically, like, that's their MO is like,
when TikTok's gone, you're coming to us.
Well, not just that, but they just rip off other apps openly. They'll just be like, oh, Snapchat's doing that, we're gonna do that. TikTok's doing that, we're gonna do that. They don't even like hide it. They're like, yeah, we just like do. They're like, that's a good idea. Now they're gonna do community notes.
Right, I did see that. Yeah.
So they're just like, hey, this is working over at Twitter.
Yep.
Now we're gonna do that, and like they just say it.
Yeah.
But with TikTok, the content, and maybe it's just what my clients are looking at, but a lot of it has like little to no value.
Yeah.
And as far
so you're not losing.
As far as reels, and maybe this is because it's what we're watching, all I'm getting is fucking food, 99.9%.
Lots of food.
Cooking videos, but also guitar playing, gear, art videos, like on my actual
So
food.
it is, I mean, you do have to wonder if you were on TikTok.
Yeah.
Would you also be getting those? Because there's like
history,
book talk. People are talking about books they're reading.
Book talk is huge.
It's
one of the biggest ones. It's like single-handedly saving Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Which is great. That can be done on other platforms, obviously. Because I feel like
the idea that by getting rid of TikTok, somehow,
you're getting rid of the creators and the content and stuff. That's just
not true.
Not true at all. No,
not true at all. But I think for a lot of young people too, this is their like first thing to die on, hill to die on,
Yeah, probably.
And you were in COVID.
Yeah.
And this saved your life.
Right.
Because this became the biggest thing in the universe 4 years ago.
Is that about when it
I think we'll have to like look at that, but I'm pretty sure 2018, 2019 it launched in America. And then COVID, everyone was online.
I guess you're right. I do remember like getting an account and everyone was like, well, don't get an account because then China's going to have your face.
But China's already got everything.
I'm
not worried about the data.
Like, whatever. Y'all have all my shit. It's fine. I guess for now.
For now. I mean, we get emails.
Still have never done like a 23andMe or an Ancestry.
Not going to do it. Not even going to
touch
it.
That's maybe where I'm going to draw the line.
Not going to do it.
I mean, you can get my DNA anywhere. If you really want my DNA, my hair is absolutely everywhere.
It's literally
my
everywhere
follicular tags are massive. Yes. You can get so much DNA from me. But I'm not going to just give it to you.
Listeners, just so you know, her hair is absolutely everywhere.
I know.
All the time.
Truly. I play with it. I have a lot of it. And it's long.
You know what they would do for me? It'd be my mustache hair. How I like twist
it.
My mustache.
Yeah. Do you get good follicular tags? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I did that too. Of course, yes.
I remember learning that we had an elective class in high school called forensics. And it was basically CSI. It was fucking awesome. Yeah. And I just remember learning follicular tag, and I will never forget the follicular tag. Yeah. And it is nice on those days when you like pull a hair out. You can just feel it. You look at it, and you're like, really cool to look at under a microscope.
It's like me with sternocleidomastoid.
Yes, the sternocleidomastoid.
Yeah, which is a muscle grouping that connects from behind your ear down your neck into your sternum.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I learned that in fucking drawing class.
Okay. Yeah. Because you obviously in drawing class, you learned the full body anatomy.
You do a ton of anatomy, and you do these things. Actually, a really fun study. If anyone wants to like work on figure drawing, you would take a figure and you would draw the skeleton, and then you take tracing paper and you draw the muscle groupings, and you take tracing paper and then you draw the figure.
Oh, that's cool.
So you draw them from the inside out.
Yeah.
But you could like see all three layers, and you would practice doing that so you understood how the muscle groupings work. Then when you go to like do a deltoid to bicep or something,
where the bone is supposed to be, where the muscles wrap around the bone, and how the skin forms around the muscle.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, one entire semester was only figure drawing. You know? Like that's like second year drawing 3. It's like all we're gonna do all year is figure drawing.
Wow.
Go for it.
Yeah. Did you guys have a lot of live models?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was really fun. And I mean, they still, I mean, at an art school you still do. They don't do it as much at like a liberal arts school or something, I'm sure. But yeah, we had really fun models, nude models. You know, they get paid. Yeah. But it's hard to be a model.
Just sit there.
Yes.
Be very still because someone's focusing on one. And obviously, would you guys do it in a circle?
Yep.
So you have your one vantage point of the body
and
of
you
the
would
person.
Like, you know, sometimes it'd be, especially if it was a painting class, you know, so those are 3-hour classes that you would have, but it would take multiple sessions. Yeah. So like, all right, Nancy's going to be there, you know, for the next like 3 weeks. Yeah. And we're going to see her twice a week. But then every time Nancy would get in position, you would tape off where you were. Yeah, that makes sense. And you set up again, and then you'd be like, your left arm just like a half inch, you know, and like
everybody kind of positions the model.
And we're like, good.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Oh God, no, I would not be able to do that.
They do. I would love.
I twitch too much. Like I just move my body too much.
I know that at Wild Goose Collective in Franklinton here, they do a figure drawing thing that anybody can attend.
Oh, cool.
I think on Sundays is like $10.
That's fun.
And so you bring your own gear, but they have a model there every Sunday.
Ready to go.
Yeah, I would love to do it sometime. Get back into it. Figure drawing is like the best practice. 100%. Drawing from life is always like so much better for you. Just as a practice. You know, I don't do it.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, is there something about the depth of field or just the more 3D dynamics of it?
It's going to be understanding how the light actually acts on the surface. Like when you look at a photograph or something, you can imitate that, but you don't get, it's not the same. Okay. Like as far as like how the light actually acts on the surface of whatever you're drawing, whether it's a still life or a figure.
That makes sense.
And then the colors in figures are so fascinating. So like when you look at a human form, like looking at you, you know, you might think you're red, but you're not. You're predominantly blue and purple on one side, you know, and so like
when I remember you telling me this like one of the first times we met and hung out. You were like, you pointed at my forearm or something, and you're like, "Do you see like the blue and the purple, and then the yellow and the green?" And I was like, "I see my arm."
I was just trying to make out with you.
Yeah, probably. Like I know I'm gonna talk anatomy.
I need an excuse. I need an excuse to touch your arm right now.
Yeah.
How can I physically engage with this woman right
now? Yeah. That's really interesting. We had a very wonderful art teacher in high school, and I took art, I think, most years. We also had enameling, which was very cool. We had enameling.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
Who else has that? That's
good old Oakwood High School.
I know. Oakwood.
I know. Yeah, we had enameling, and that was like one of the big elective classes that you could take. I'm trying to think. I mean, I think we had a little bit. I don't even know if we did any real like pottery, but the enameling was cool.
So was that just tiles, or what were you guys working on?
All sorts of things, and I'm trying to remember it right now. But I remember like my sister made like roses and stuff. So like real 3D, cool. Like you actually form things, and then I don't even fucking remember how you do it.
Would you cook it?
You'd have we had a kiln. Yeah, we had a kiln in the art room, and it was cool. We also did what's it called?
Printmaking?
Yeah, but what's that process called?
Lithograph?
Yeah, yeah.
Or there's, woodcuts.
Yeah.
Lino cuts. There's Xerox transfers.
All that. We did all that.
But
I just remember the little tool, and you would like carve out the things.
Okay, then that was was it a soft and rubbery material?
Yes.
So that's a lino cut. Is
Okay.
what they call that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
So you take a rubber tile.
Yep.
You cut it out. It's rubber stamping essentially.
Yep.
But lino is what they call it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Super fun.
Yeah, that's a really fun one, and that's like easy wood cut.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you see those like Germanic wood cuts, you know, where it's like black and heavy and like all the class, I mean, you know how it looks and it looks awesome.
Yes.
Like the little thing that you have on your desk where it's the sheep.
Yes,
the
exactly,
goats.
exactly.
That's a wood cut, and lino cuts are just like
the like
easy
elementary version of
because
it.
it's rubbery and soft.
Yep.
You know, and you can do it.
Yeah, so that was really fun.
Yeah. Oh, I loved printmaking. I remember, so Columbus has an amazing art school, the Columbus College of Art and Design, and they have this screen printing facility that'll melt your brain.
Really?
It's like.
When did you see it?
I'll go into that.
Okay.
So the big thing was, it's like I'm in college, freshman year, started a band with my roommate. It's a ska band, and I'm like, I want to make shirts. We have this kid, this international student. And he's like, well, I know how to screen print.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's dope. I don't,
Yeah.
you know, I'm 18 or whatever.
Yeah.
This is fun. And I come from a place where you couldn't just do that. He's like, let's make some screens. And we talked to the head of the printmaking department, and she's like, we don't do screen printing here.
Oh, okay.
At Miami, and this is then, she definitely is not there now, I bet. But
good.
The woman who was in charge of printmaking was like very against screen printing.
Why?
She like didn't like pop art, I think, really at all. But she was like, it's like not real printmaking. Okay. So she was like only into like acid burning or wood cuts or lino cuts or like physically making the prints or tiles and like pressing them. Exactly what Craig Fisher does.
Yeah.
Like she was like, that's the only way.
Yeah.
And screen printing was this like generic, like cheesy thing. And so we just started doing it in the basement of the art building, and we would like, you know, stretch our own screens and put the goop on and we'd just hang out in the dark and like smoke cigarettes, you know?
Yeah.
And then we'd like, you put it on soup cans and use like a light bulb and burn them. And then junior year, my buddy Lane, he was dating a girl who was going to CCAD.
Oh,
so we came up to visit, and I was like, can I just see the facilities? You know, like I'm an art student. I'm an art student.
Yeah.
And then they take me around the printmaking, and then we go like downstairs to the basement, and it's like giant racks of screens and like these giant photo printers that you put the screens on that blast light that and I was just like, what the fuck is this? And
That's
they were
cool.
like, oh yeah, it's like one of the big things here or whatever.
We also had screen printing in high school.
That's crazy.
It was so cool, and we could burn the screens there, and then I remember making the most generic shit possible. But it was a very cool thing to learn, and I still remember like what it feels like to do
I love
thing.
And then the last when I still worked at a tattoo shop, remember I would make I made shirts for everybody.
You made shirts for the volleyball team.
Yeah, I made shirts for the volleyball team. I love screen printing. Such like a low impact, easy thing that anybody can do.
Yeah.
You know, and if you mess it up, it's kind of fun. Well, you know, like
sure.
I just mean like
I understand.
Human error as part of the design.
Yes.
Is fun.
Yes.
You know, if it doesn't like perfectly line up. You know, especially if you're doing two colors or something like.
Well, that's where you and I differ. I'm like, I really would prefer it to actually go where it's supposed to and be symmetrical and line up.
I want it to be legible, but I love something about making it look like it's a little handmade.
Yeah, you like the movement. You like the clean cut, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should definitely you should do that figure drawing class. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
I could come along and
100% come
butcher it.
No, just bring a sketch pad. You don't even need like a big thing.
Oh God, I would get so nervous. I wouldn't know what to do.
You would know exactly what to do.
I did a self-portrait.
It was great. I ruined it. Well, the basement.
No, it was in the basement. But that was kind of my claim to fame because it was good.
It was good.
I did a really good job. But it was one of those things we gridded off the entire page, you know, so it's like I don't know, 12 by 24 grid or something. So you're working in the grids and focusing on the specific areas, which I had never done before. That was a unique way or kind of cool perspective on an image.
A lot of big hyper realistic artists do that.
Do they? Okay.
So if you do hyper realism, they do that.
Okay.
Yep. So it's not cheap. Cool. I remember Winston Churchill. I can't remember the quote, but you know, Winston Churchill was a great painter.
Yes.
And especially later in life. But he would use a new thing at the time where they would project the image onto the canvas first.
Oh.
And he would say,
would he like sketch
certain
so areas?
Basically, I forget what it's called. It's not like, it sounds like Atlas Obscura, but it's not.
Yeah.
But it's a tool like that you would use, and you put it over your picture, and it would put that onto the canvas, and then you would like work off of that first.
Okay.
Just speeds up the process of the painting, you know. But he would say something akin to, and I'm going to butcher it, but I just heard this other quote, and it's essentially like, why would I waste all my time, you know, walking across town when a cab's only a nickel?
Yeah.
You know, or something like that. Like, if it gets me there, if it gets me there faster, I'm still doing the painting.
Yeah.
And it's going to look awesome. And you know, people praise his work all the time, but he's like, why would I waste the time?
The complete opposite of what's his name in the envelopes.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a different story. I think Churchill would definitely meander walking and talking to people.
Yeah.
But when he's making a painting, he was like,
yeah.
If this is a tool that I can use to get me there faster in some capacity. I work off of projections now. Usually I start.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll create a render. Like when I'm doing a big painting, I'll put it all together in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is basically what I want to do as far as like how the figures fit together. And then I'll project that first. Do a rough outline, just like making a stencil for a tattoo.
That makes sense.
And actually, what I do is I make a stencil of the painting.
Yeah.
So I'll make an outline of the painting, and I'll project that onto the canvas, and then I just like get all my scale, and then I take that away, and then I start all the painting.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yep.
And that's Art 201 with the Franklins. All the art you can do.
Yeah, it's fun.
I bet.
Art's fun.
Art's art.
It's all, it's subjective, right? It's whatever you want it to be, but I enjoy it.
Good. I've brought things up. You got to come to the table with something.
Oh, gee. Let's see. You have to start prepping for a horse show.
I do. WEC in February, which is always fun. We've talked about the World Equestrian Center, and it'll be winter, so it'll be completely closed. I mean, we'll just go in at 5 a.m.
A horse island.
And we will come out at probably like 8 or 9 p.m.
But you'll get there in the dark and leave in the dark.
Absolutely, yep.
Your life will be darkness.
It'll be darkness, but Richie's ready.
Yes.
Richie got his injections. He got a massage. I think the chiropractor's coming.
Yep.
He's gonna get clipped.
Does he need new shoes? Or?
The farrier comes every 5 weeks, so his mane is braided so that it goes the right way.
Great.
It'll get pulled. I got some new boots. I have my new saddle pad. We've been practicing a lot of jumper technique. It's showtime, baby.
That's right.
Basically just forcing myself to do it, or else I'll like never show again, because it's so much fucking work and it's very stressful.
Yes.
But also very fun. It's one of those things, like so many things in life,
well,
where
you get a cool outfit.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, absolutely.
Which
and
is fun.
jumper. So, Hunters is the showing.
It's very classy.
Well, it's very classy. It's very based on the performance of the horse and the
equitation.
Well, no, that's the rider. Which there are equitation classes, and the rider is then judged. But these primary hunter classes, it's based on the horse's form, the horse's overall appearance, and that's why they have to have their manes braided. Right. They have to have their tails braided. Yeah. Tail fucking extended. Which is such only if your horse doesn't have a super thick tail. Like Richie wouldn't need one if he were a hunter. But some horses have these little wispy tails, and you have to buy $300 tail extension that they literally braid in. It's mind blowing. And you wear tan breeches for that. Jumpers. You usually show for like 3 days. And so Friday, Saturday are just normal jumper days. Saturdays are classic day, or Sundays are classic days, and you get to wear white breeches.
That's right.
And that just shows everyone you're a jumper, which is super fun. So I finally got my first pair of white breeches back in the fall, and I got to ride in them, and somehow did not completely ruin them. Yeah. So that's the miracle of it. Yep.
When you're at a barn and there's a bunch of fucking dirt and horses, that they would immediately get ruined. But.
Yep. Nope. They survived and thrived.
Great.
So I'm really looking forward to the show. Oh, but what I was going to say is it's one of those things that in the middle of it, it's intense.
Oh my God.
It's hard. Emotions are running so high.
Have we talked about how like you don't know when you're going?
You never know when you're riding.
Oh
there's
my God.
There's like the most broad
Drives me
timeline.
nuts.
It's
Yeah.
like, your class is for your class, the ring opens at this time and you're probably going to be around like 9 a.m. but it could also be like 12:45.
You never fucking know.
You never know. It's very much a wait, hurry up situation.
Horse shows are all about the vibes.
Oh my God, yes. And sometimes the vibes are off.
Yeah.
Every horse show I've done, there's a moment where I'm picking out the stall and I'm on the verge of tears for one reason or another. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen this time. But it's always just like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
Why? Even if I like, whether or not, and then, okay, so then the tail end of it is when you finally pack up, you get the horses home, everything's back where it's supposed to be. You're like, what a fantastic week. I could just do this all the time because you really have kind of just gotten into the swing of it. And whether or not you did well or you didn't do well, usually at the end of it, you're like, and I'm ready for the next one. Yeah. Which is why you do need to consistently do them because there's a rhythm, there's a balance, there's just something about it that like, if you wait too long, you're going to be off and you're going to feel even shittier on those shitty days. And I will say, we do all of our own stuff.
Right.
There are barns and people that have full staff that come with them. So they're cleaning out the stalls. They're doing the feedings. They're doing the groomings. They're tacking up. We do it all just because, we love it.
Yeah. Why would you not?
The time that you are in the stall with the horse cleaning up its poop or giving it its food or its hay, that's your bonding time.
Oh, 100%.
And the horse, to be in the stall with the horse, you don't really get that at home. And I feel like I've talked about this. But I don't know, just that quality time with the horse then I think gives you
more connection.
So when you go into the ring to 100%. Show, you're just like actually one with the horse.
They're acclimated to you, your smell, your presence with them, know, your voice.
They're like, you give me food. I like you.
Yeah. No, I think, Richie and even Noah did to an extent, but they perform better at shows for some reason. You know, the atmosphere.
Show mode.
Yeah,
they just know. I truly think that it's like a sensory overload. They almost are forced to focus.
Yeah, emotional blinders.
Emotional blinders for sure. So I'm really looking forward to it, and
I'm looking forward to it. I
think it'll be a very good time, and we have a nice group going, and I think it'll hopefully be a good time.
I was just thinking about. This Sunday, I don't know if we'll do another podcast before, but Sandwiches of History. So I cannot wait to report back on that experience.
What's it going to be?
I think it's going to be
We'll give the full report.
Well, it's funny. Earlier today, I was like, Liz was talking about how going to Giggly Squad.
Yeah, almost ruined it.
Well, and I'm like, the crowd, you were like, who are these people?
Exactly.
And I'm like, we're going to definitely have that experience with the sandwich crowd.
Yes.
Like,
oh my God.
Who are other sandwich fiends like us?
Hopefully they're all cool like us.
Yeah.
I feel like it's even more niche. It's very much more niche than Giggly Squad.
Right.
But it's
smaller,
like, but it's like, but these could be people from across the spectrum.
I didn't think about it till like right now, but I'm like, oh, well, we'll be around these people for a minute. What'll be funny is to talk about like, oh, how'd you get into it?
Yeah. Well, we lay in bed and we watch an episode every single night. And some people will probably be like, I watch it when I'm making breakfast every day, or I need inspiration for my lunch every day, so I watch it. The internet can be so wonderful.
It can. I think this is like a beautiful thing.
This is a really good example of good internet.
A random swath of people for something so pure. And,
yes. No one is trying to get anything out of this experience except for pleasure.
Barry could not be less political.
Never once seen that.
Yeah.
Would have no idea his political stance.
And it's irrelevant to
completely
what he does.
Yeah.
So like I love that too. Like it's like he's just out there making.
There's probably a shared interest in history.
Right.
So we all kind of have that going for us.
You're just telling me there's interest in sandwiches and history?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And sandwiches, Some people really claim to hate sandwiches.
Well, that's not a real thing. It's like tacos or pizza, or you could put
anything
on it, and
anything.
it could be made of any bread or you know like what. Yeah.
What constitutes a sandwich?
Like, is a hot dog a sandwich? That's the debate.
That's
right?
the big debate. I don't know.
I'm a yes. You got like two pieces of something. Yeah.
But it's connected. But I guess like hoagies and stuff.
Pretty much the same, right? You take a big piece of bread and you cut it not all the way and you put a bunch of shit in and you close it.
Yeah. I think it's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
Yeah. Now I prefer sandwiches at lunch.
Right. But you also like a lighter.
I like a lighter sandwich in general.
You know I love a club sandwich.
Yeah, clubs are amazing. Yeah. Clubs are very good. So I guess sometimes, but I'd almost prefer that as a lunch item than a dinner item.
Not even like a Nashville chicken sandwich.
Well, is a burger a sandwich?
A burger's 100% a sandwich.
Yeah,
How can a burger be anything?
I don't know. I guess
burger has like come to its own.
Exactly. Same as a hot dog.
Yeah.
They kind of are in their own category.
But you would call like a sloppy Joe a loose meat sandwich, right? It's just like
I'd call it like a loose meat burger.
But it's a burger, right?
Yeah. It's like I think it's a bun versus bread situation for me. I don't call a wrap a sandwich.
Well, wrap's not.
Because it's not.
Right. But it's a burrito.
God damn it. Too many things. Whatever. I love food.
Everybody, let us know your favorite sandwich and if you think a hot dog's a sandwich and if a wrap's a burrito.
Yeah. And if a sloppy Joe is a loose meat
leave comments.
Burger.
Have you looked at it? Do we have any comments?
Yeah, totally. Rob.
Okay. Rob, if you're out there,
Rob.
let us know.
We love Rob.
Does he comment often?
I think so, yeah.
Rob, we love you.
We love Rob.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think speaking of sandwiches,
it's Reuben time.
It's Reuben time.
I think I'm going to make a Reuben wrap.
Oh.
We talked about that.
Well, I thought a quesadilla.
Oh, God. Don't even bring up the quesadillas.
All right, we're getting out of here. Bye.
Bye.